Hey Switch fans, it's Matt from Level Up Switch, and welcome to our massive update of the top 30 must-play Nintendo Switch games in 2025. The Switch might be in its twilight years, but the library is absolutely stacked with incredible experiences. Whether you're into intense samurai action, sprawling RPG adventures, challenging platformers, or addictive multiplayer games, this definitive list has something for every kind of gamer. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay updated on all things Switch. And let me know in the comments which games you think deserve a spot on this list. Now, let's power up and jump straight into the countdown. Starting our list at number 30, we have Onimusha, Warlords, Capcom's remastered samurai classic. If you missed this gem on PS2, now's your chance to experience feudal Japan as Samanosuke Akichi, a skilled warrior battling demonic forces. The remaster brings enhanced visuals while preserving the game's original atmosphere. Moody Japanese castles, eerie demon lairs, and tense corridors filled with the undead. Combat feels satisfyingly weighty, with each sword strike delivering visceral feedback as you collect souls to upgrade your magical weapons. What makes Onimusha stand out is its perfect blend of survival horror elements with samurai action. Resource management is crucial, and the puzzles provide a nice breather between intense sword fights. At around 8 to 10 hours, it's the perfect weekend adventure that shows why this series deserves its cult classic status. At number 29, Fire Emblem Warriors offers a fascinating twist on the beloved strategy RPG franchise. Intelligent Systems and Koei Tecmo joined forces to bring us this hack-and-slash spin-off that throws your favorite Fire Emblem characters into massive battlefields teeming with thousands of enemies. The game brilliantly incorporates tactical elements from the main series. The weapon triangle, character pairing, and strategic unit deployment all matter here. You'll command multiple heroes across sprawling maps while executing devastating special moves that clear entire screens of enemies. With a roster featuring iconic characters from multiple Fire Emblem titles, including Marth, Chrome, Corrin, and Lucina, Warriors delivers fan service alongside surprisingly deep gameplay. The History Mode offers plenty of challenging scenarios based on classic battles from the series, ensuring dozens of hours of content for both Warriors and Fire Emblem fans alike.
You seek revenge to slake your rage and heal your wounded heart. I know you are prepared to do what...
Number 28 brings us to one of the Switch's most overlooked titles, Katana Kami, A Way of the Samurai Story. This spin-off of the cult classic Way of the Samurai series combines roguelike dungeon exploration with satisfying samurai combat. By day, you'll run your blacksmith shop, forging and selling weapons to pay off your debt. By night, you'll descend into a mysterious spirit realm called Jaikai, battling through procedurally generated dungeons filled with enemies and treasure. The game's risk-reward system constantly tempts you to push deeper into the dungeon for better loot, knowing that death means losing everything you've collected. What makes Katana Kami special is its unique stance-based combat system with over 100 different weapons to master, each with distinct movesets. The game also features a fascinating 3-faction system, where your allegiance to rival clans affects your journey. It's a hidden gem that action RPG fans should absolutely check out. Coming in at number 27 is SNK's revival of the legendary fighting game series, Samurai Shodown. This isn't your average button-mashing fighter. It's a deliberate, measured combat experience where a single well-timed slash can decide a match. Samurai Shodown stands apart from other fighting games with its weapon-based combat that emphasizes patience and precision. Health bars deplete rapidly, creating tense standoffs where players carefully look for openings. The rage gauge mechanic adds another layer of strategy, building up as you take damage and unleashing devastating special moves when activated. The Switch version includes all the DLC characters, bringing the roster to over 30 unique fighters, each with distinct fighting styles. From Haomaru's balanced approach to Yoshimaru's aerial prowess, there's a samurai for every playstyle. The gorgeous traditional Japanese art style and atmospheric music complete this authentic samurai experience.
Suffer the consequences. Timing is everything. Because in this game, single strikes hit like a damn freight train.
At number 26, Katana ZERO slashes its way onto our list. This stylish neo-noir action platformer combines lightning-fast combat with a mind-bending narrative that will keep you guessing until the very end. You play as the Dragon, an assassin with the ability to slow down time and predict the immediate future, represented by the game's one-hit kill mechanic. Die and you'll simply rewind to try again, a mechanic brilliantly woven into the story itself. Each level is a violent puzzle where timing and precision are everything, as you deflect bullets, dodge traps, and slice through enemies in fluid, neon-soaked environments. What elevates Katana ZERO beyond its tight gameplay is its atmospheric pixel art style and phenomenal synthwave soundtrack that perfectly captures its 80s aesthetic. The narrative unfolds through dialogue choices that actually matter, with a branching story exploring themes of trauma, memory, and identity. It's a relatively short experience at around 6 to 8 hours, but one that will stick with you long after the credits roll. Charging in at number 25 is Monster Hunter Rise, Capcom's Switch-focused entry in the beloved monster hunting franchise. Rise brilliantly builds upon the accessibility improvements introduced in Monster Hunter World, while adding exciting new mechanics that make it feel fresh. The game's standout innovation is the wirebug system, which acts as both a grappling hook for traversal and a combat tool that enhances your movesets. Combined with the ability to ride and control monsters during turf wars, Rise delivers the most mobile and dynamic Monster Hunter experience yet. The addition of the dog-like Palamute companions also streamlines exploration, letting you cover ground quickly and even sharpen your weapons while riding. Featuring 14 distinct weapon types, from the technical insect glaive to the explosive heavy bogan, and dozens of massive monsters to hunt, Rise offers hundreds of hours of gameplay. The Switch version performs remarkably well, maintaining steady frame rates even during intense hunts. With the Sunbreak expansion adding even more content, Monster Hunter Rise remains one of the most content-rich action RPGs on the system.
It's been 50 years since the last calamity.
Breaking into our top 24 is Hades, Supergiant Games' critically acclaimed roguelike that somehow makes dying repeatedly incredibly fun. You play as Zagreus, son of Hades, fighting to escape the underworld against his father's wishes. What sets Hades apart from other roguelikes is how it weaves narrative into the gameplay loop. Every death returns you to the House of Hades, where you can interact with a colorful cast of Greek gods and mythological figures, each with their own storylines that progress as you continue attempting escapes. The writing is sharp, witty, and emotionally resonant. The combat is equally impressive, fast, fluid, and endlessly customizable. With 6 different weapons, each with 4 variations, and boons from various Olympian gods that modify your abilities, no 2 runs ever feel the same. The stunning hand-drawn art style and dynamic soundtrack that adapts to your actions make this indie darling one of the Switch's standout titles. Even after your first successful escape, Hades offers compelling reasons to dive back in again and again.
That was for last.
Arriving at number 23, Metroid Dread marks Samus Aran's triumphant return to the 2D format that made the series famous. As the conclusion to the 5-part saga that began with the original Metroid, Dread delivers a masterclass in Metroidvania design. The game introduces the EMMI robots, nearly invincible pursuers that create tense, heart-pounding chase sequences through designated zones. These stealth sections provide a perfect counterbalance to the exploration and combat that Metroid is known for. Samus has never felt more responsive to control, with a new slide maneuver and melee counter that make combat more dynamic than ever. Planet ZDR is a visual showcase for the Switch, with diverse, detailed biomes ranging from underwater caverns to scorching lava zones. The boss fights are some of the best in the series. Challenging but fair, requiring you to master Samus's expanding arsenal of weapons and abilities. With a perfect mix of nostalgia and innovation, Metroid Dread proves that 2D Metroid is still very much alive and kicking. At number 22, we have Hollow Knight, Team Cherry's atmospheric Metroidvania that has deservedly achieved cult classic status. Set in the decaying insect kingdom of Hallownest, you play as the Knight, a small vessel exploring the ruins of a once great civilization. Hollow Knight stands out with its hand-drawn art style and atmospheric sound design that create a world both beautiful and melancholic. The massive interconnected map is a joy to explore, filled with secrets, shortcuts, and distinct areas, each with their own visual identity and challenges. Combat is precise and challenging, especially during the game's many boss encounters that test your mastery of movement and timing. With a wide array of charms to customize your playstyle, from aggressive builds focused on nail combat to more defensive approaches using spells, there's depth to match the breadth of content. With over 40 hours of gameplay in the base game, plus free DLC expansions, Hollow Knight offers incredible value and stands as one of the finest Metroidvania experiences available on any platform. Securing the number 21 spot is Platinum Games' Astral Chain, a Switch exclusive that showcases the developer's expertise in creating unique, stylish action games. Set in a cyberpunk future where humanity has retreated to a megacity called the Ark, you play as a rookie officer in a special police task force battling interdimensional creatures. The game's standout feature is its innovative combat system that has you controlling both your character and a tethered legion simultaneously. This synergetic action system creates a distinctive rhythm to fights, as you position your legion to create chain binds, perform synchronized attacks, or solve environmental puzzles. Mastering this dual character control scheme feels incredibly rewarding. Beyond combat, Astral Chain offers surprisingly robust detective segments, where you'll investigate crime scenes, question witnesses, and piece together evidence. The game's visual presentation is stunning, with neon-lit cityscapes, otherworldly dimensions, and flashy combat effects that push the Switch hardware. With 5 different Legion types to master and multiple difficulty options, Astral Chain remains one of the most innovative and underappreciated exclusives in the Switch library.
You don't understand. My heart goes out to you too. All because of how you were born. Doomed to be used by those idiots until you die.
Slashing into the number 20 position is Dead Cells, Motion Twin's roguelite action platformer that has only gotten better with age. Playing as the prisoner, a failed alchemical experiment with the ability to possess bodies, you'll fight through procedurally generated levels in an ever-changing castle. Dead Cells perfectly balances tight, responsive combat with permanent progression. Each run gives you cells to unlock new weapons, abilities, and upgrades that persist across playthroughs. With over 90 weapons and tools ranging from broadswords to electric whips to explosive crossbows, you can create wildly different builds each time you play. What's impressive is how the developers have supported the game with substantial free updates and paid DLC that have more than doubled the original content. The Switch version performs flawlessly, making it perfect for quick runs on the go or extended sessions at home. With its just one more run addictiveness and satisfying skill-based progression, Dead Cells remains one of the most replayable games on the platform. Galloping into number 19 is Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption, which finally made its way to Nintendo hardware in a surprisingly solid port. This Western epic follows John Marston, a former outlaw forced to hunt down his old gang members across a vast frontier spanning the American Southwest and Mexico. The Switch version manages to preserve the game's breathtaking open world with its diverse landscapes, from dusty deserts and rugged mountains to frontier towns bustling with activity. The day-night cycle and dynamic weather still create a living, breathing environment that feels authentic to the era. What makes Red Dead Redemption special is its compelling narrative about the death of the Old West, with memorable characters and impactful story moments throughout. Side activities like bounty hunting, poker games, and random encounters keep the world feeling alive between main missions. The Undead Nightmare DLC, included in the Switch version, offers an entertaining zombie-themed alternate campaign. Despite some visual compromises, having this masterpiece available on a portable system is nothing short of impressive. Smashing into the number 18 spot is the definitive crossover fighting game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Living up to its name, this entry truly is the ultimate celebration of gaming history, featuring every fighter ever included in the series plus newcomers, bringing the roster to an astonishing 89 characters. What makes Ultimate special is its accessibility balanced with competitive depth. Newcomers can jump in and have fun immediately with simple controls, while veteran players can spend years mastering advanced techniques. The game offers something for everyone with its numerous modes, including a surprisingly robust single-player adventure called World of Light, classic arcade-style challenges, and endless multiplayer possibilities. At number 17, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Monolith Soft's masterpiece that serves as a perfect culmination of the trilogy. Set in the world of Aeonios, where two nations are locked in an eternal conflict, you follow 6 soldiers from opposing sides who break free from their predetermined fates. The game's world is massive even by Xenoblade standards, with breathtaking vistas and diverse biomes that showcase what the Switch can achieve. The real-time combat system reaches new heights of complexity and satisfaction, introducing class-changing mechanics in the Ouroboros system, where character pairs can fuse into powerful mech-like forms with unique abilities. What elevates Xenoblade 3 beyond its predecessors is its emotional, character-driven narrative that explores themes of purpose, identity, and breaking free from cycles of violence. The main cast is wonderfully developed, with genuine relationships that evolve throughout the 60 to 80-hour journey. With substantial post-game content and expansion pass adventures, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 stands as one of the most ambitious and complete JRPGs on the Switch.
Whatever life is lost, I won't let you shoulder it all alone. What good's filling up these flickering clocks in our eyes? It'll never replace the friends we've lost. The flame clock, it has to go!
Soaring to number 16 is The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, the ambitious sequel that somehow managed to improve upon Breath of the Wild's revolutionary formula. Returning to a transformed Hyrule, players discover a world both familiar and dramatically changed, with floating islands in the sky and mysterious depths below the surface. The game's defining feature is Link's new creative abilities. Ultra Hand lets you build and combine objects to create vehicles, weapons, and machines. Fuse allows you to combine items into powerful new tools. Recall reverses the movement of objects, and Ascend lets you phase through ceilings. These powers fundamentally change how you solve puzzles and approach combat, offering unprecedented freedom. Tears of the Kingdom is a technical marvel, pushing the Switch hardware to its limits while maintaining impressive performance. The expanded world offers 3 vertical layers to explore: sky, surface, and depths, each with distinct aesthetics and challenges. With an emotional story that expands the Zelda lore, hundreds of puzzles and secrets, and the freedom to tackle challenges in countless creative ways, Tears of the Kingdom represents open-world design at its absolute finest. At number 15, we have Resident Evil 4, available on Switch as a cloud version. This groundbreaking survival horror classic follows Leon S. Kennedy on a mission to rescue the president's daughter from a mysterious cult in rural Spain, only to encounter villagers infected by a mind-controlling parasite. The game revolutionized third-person action with its over-the-shoulder camera and tense combat that focuses on precision and resource management. The pacing is masterful, alternating between white-knuckle action sequences and atmospheric exploration, with memorable set pieces throughout, from the initial village siege to the imposing castle. While the cloud-based nature means you'll need a stable internet connection, the trade-off gives Switch owners access to one of gaming's most influential titles with enhanced visuals. The game streams surprisingly well on a good connection, and the ability to play with motion controls adds a new dimension to the aiming system. With the perfect mix of horror, action, and campiness, Resident Evil 4 remains just as captivating today as it was upon release. Slicing into number 14 is Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles, CyberConnect 2's arena fighter based on the phenomenally popular anime. The game follows Tanjiro Kamato's journey from the beginning of the series through the Mugen Train arc, recreating the anime's most iconic moments with stunning visual fidelity. Combat is accessible yet satisfying, with simple controls that still allow for flashy combos and spectacular ultimate attacks that recreate the breathing techniques from the show. The attention to detail in character animations is remarkable. Tanjiro's water-breathing forms flow exactly as they do in the anime, creating a true playable anime experience. The story mode lets fans relive key moments from the series with gorgeous cutscenes that sometimes surpass the anime in visual quality. Adventure segments between battles allow you to explore familiar locations and discover memory fragments that unlock additional content. With a roster featuring all the fan-favorite characters from the Demon Slayer core and their demonic adversaries, this is the definitive video game adaptation of the beloved series.
Barged into your home and messed with your food.
Stop wriggling for a second, will ya? I'll shred you to pieces! You're pretty good!
Jumping to number 13, we have Samurai Jack, Battle Through Time, a surprisingly excellent adaptation that serves as a missing chapter in the acclaimed animated series. Set during the final episode of the show, Jack is thrown into a time portal by Aku, forcing him to battle through key moments from his past before he can reach his final confrontation. Developed with series creator Genndy Tartakovsky's involvement, the game perfectly captures Jack's flowing combat style. You'll wield katanas, hammers, spears, and ranged weapons with fluid combos that feel straight out of the show. The progression system allows you to upgrade Jack's skills and weapons, gradually becoming more powerful as you master different fighting styles. What makes this game special is how authentically it recreates the show's distinct visual style and atmosphere in 3D, with cel-shaded graphics that look remarkably close to the animation. With the original voice cast reprising their roles in music that echoes the show's distinctive sound, Battle Through Time is a love letter to fans and a solid action game in its own right. Claiming the number 12 spot is Fate Samurai Remnant, an action RPG that transplants the popular Fate franchise to Japan's Edo period. You play as Miyamoto Iori, a master swordsman drawn into a Holy Grail war alongside 7 other master servant pairs fighting for a wish-granting artifact. The combat system, developed by Koei Tecmo, blends fast-paced swordplay with magical abilities. As you progress, you'll master different sword stances and techniques while strengthening your bond with your servant, allowing for powerful combo attacks. The game strikes an excellent balance between accessibility and depth, with responsive controls and satisfying enemy encounters. What's most impressive is how the game weaves traditional Fate elements into a fresh historical setting. The story explores Japanese folklore and Edo period politics while maintaining the series' trademark philosophical themes, and complex character relationships. With multiple endings based on your choices and relationship development, Fate Samurai Remnant offers substantial replay value for both Fate fans and newcomers alike.
Hey, Entourage!
宮本伊織マスターの一人として今は不足と見たお命をいただく君は
Charging into battle at number 11 is Dynasty Warriors 8 Xtreme Legends Complete Edition, the definitive version of Koei Tecmo's popular Musou title. Based on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms novel, the game lets you experience ancient Chinese history through exaggerated battles where you'll face thousands of enemies as legendary warriors. What makes this version special is the sheer amount of content. It includes both the base game and the Xtreme Legends expansion, offering over 80 playable characters, each with unique weapons and movesets. The multiple story modes follow different kingdoms and historical figures, providing different perspectives on the same events, and encouraging multiple playthroughs. Beyond the main campaigns, Ambition Mode lets you build and expand your own base, while Challenge Mode offers various combat trials to test your skills. The Switch version handles the chaotic battles admirably, maintaining a solid frame rate even with hundreds of enemies on screen. For fans of historical action or those who enjoy the cathartic experience of becoming a one-person army, Dynasty Warriors 8 delivers hours upon hours of battlefield domination.
With a single arrow, I can light this battlefield aflame.
Arriving at number 10 is Trek to Yomi, a stylish action game that pays homage to classic Akira Kurosawa samurai films. Playing as Hiroki, a young swordsman who vows to protect his town after his master's death, you'll embark on a journey of vengeance that takes you through the land of the dead itself. The game's most striking feature is its visual presentation, rendered entirely in black and white with film grain effects, dynamic camera angles, and composition straight from Golden Age Japanese cinema. Every scene feels meticulously crafted, from quiet village moments to intense duels on burning bridges. The side-scrolling combat focuses on parrying, stance changes, and precise timing rather than button mashing. As you progress, you'll unlock new combos and ranged weapons to deal with increasingly challenging opponents. With a haunting soundtrack featuring traditional Japanese instruments and a story that explores themes of honor, duty, and sacrifice, Trek to Yomi delivers an atmospheric experience that's as much an interactive film as it is a game. Blasting into number 9 is Doom Eternal, ID Software's adrenaline-pumping sequel that somehow runs impressively well on Nintendo's portable hardware. As the Doom Slayer, you'll rip and tear through hordes of demons across Earth, Mars, and Hell itself in a relentless campaign against demonic forces. Doom Eternal evolves the push-forward combat of its predecessor into what the developers call the combat chess system. Yeah, you'll constantly cycle between weapons and abilities to exploit specific enemy weaknesses, using glory kills for health, chainsaw attacks for ammo, and flame belch for armor in a beautiful dance of destruction. The added mobility options, including a dash and meat hook that pulls you toward enemies, make movement just as important as aiming. What's remarkable is how Panic Button managed to get this technically demanding game running on Switch. While visual compromises were necessary, the core gameplay remains intact, at a consistent frame rate, preserving the speed and fluidity that makes Doom Eternal so satisfying. With a lengthy campaign, master-level challenges, and the Ancient Gods DLC available separately, this port offers dozens of hours of demon-slaying mayhem on the go.
The only thing they fear is you.
Breaking into number 8 is Remnant. From the Ashes, a third-person shooter that combines Souls-like challenge with procedurally generated worlds and cooperative play. Set in a post-apocalyptic Earth overrun by interdimensional beings called the Root, you'll fight through multiple realms as one of the last survivors of humanity. What makes Remnant special is how it transforms the Souls formula with ranged combat focus. You'll collect an arsenal of guns, from revolvers and shotguns to bizarre alien weapons, complemented by melee options and magical mods that grant special abilities. The procedural generation ensures that no two playthroughs are identical, with different world layouts, enemy placements, and even boss encounters. The Switch port handles the game's demanding visuals surprisingly well, maintaining stable performance during intense firefights. The ability to play the entire campaign cooperatively with up to 2 friends adds another dimension to the experience, allowing for tactical approaches to challenging encounters. With multiple classes to master, dozens of weapons to discover, and randomized elements that encourage replaying, Remnant from the Ashes offers exceptional value and challenge for action game fans. Securing the number 7 position is NieR Automata, the end of YoRHa edition, Platinum Games' masterpiece that successfully made the jump to Switch. Set in a distant future where alien machines have driven humanity to the moon, you control combat androids 2, B, 9S, and A2 in a war to reclaim Earth. What starts as a stylish action game quickly reveals itself as something far more profound. The combat system delivers Platinum Games' trademark fluid action, allowing you to seamlessly switch between melee attacks, ranged fire, and dodges while customizing your androids with plug-in chips that alter their abilities. The game constantly shifts perspectives and even genres, transitioning from third-person action to top-down shooting to 2D platforming seamlessly. The port is a technical achievement, preserving the game's visual identity and smooth 60 FPS combat, while making necessary compromises to run on Switch. Including all previously released DLC and Switch-exclusive costumes, this is the complete package. But what truly elevates NieR Automata beyond other action games is its existential narrative exploring consciousness, purpose, and humanity, delivered across multiple playthroughs that each reveal new layers to the story. With 26 different endings, 5 main ones, and a conclusion that breaks the fourth wall in revolutionary ways, this is a game that leaves a lasting impression.
It was an honor to fight with you, truly.
Climbing to number 6 is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, the revolutionary open-world adventure that launched alongside the Switch, and redefined what Zelda and open-world games in general could be. After awakening from a 100-year slumber, Link must explore a vast, ruined Hyrule to regain his memories and defeat Calamity Ganon. Breath of the Wild's greatest achievement is its emergent gameplay systems that interact in surprising ways. The chemistry engine allows for creative problem-solving. Metal objects conduct electricity, fire spreads based on wind conditions, and ice can create platforms in water. This systemic approach extends to combat, where you can drop metal objects during thunderstorms to electrocute enemies, or use the environment to trigger chain reactions. The game's approach to exploration is equally revolutionary, with a climb anything traversal system and paraglider that make every surface part of the playable space. Rather than guiding players with waypoints, Breath of the Wild trusts them to follow their curiosity, rewarding exploration with shrines, Korok seeds, and memorable discoveries. Even years after release, players continue to discover new techniques and interactions, cementing this launch title as one of the greatest games of all time.
Here it comes!
Riding into the number 5 spot is The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt, CD Projekt Red's epic RPG that somehow fits on a Nintendo cartridge. As Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter for hire, you'll track down your adopted daughter while navigating a war-torn world filled with morally complex characters and dangerous creatures. What makes The Witcher 3 special is its mature storytelling approach. Even minor side quests feature nuanced characters and meaningful choices, with consequences that can echo throughout the game. The writing consistently shines, whether in main quest lines that span dozens of hours or brief encounters in remote villages. The Switch version is a technical marvel, including the entire massive world in both expansion packs, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, the latter being almost a full game in itself. While visual compromises were necessary, the core experience remains intact, with the complex combat system, alchemy, and character progression fully preserved. The ability to continue your monster hunting adventure on the go makes the Switch version uniquely appealing, even to those who have played it elsewhere.
My daughter Cirilla, she's in danger. You will find her and bring her to me.
Stealing the number 4 position is Persona 5 Royal, Atlus's stylish JRPG that seamlessly blends dungeon crawling with high school life simulation. As a falsely accused student transferred to a new school in Tokyo, you discover the ability to enter people's cognitive worlds and steal the distorted desires driving them to harm others. The game's visual presentation is unmatched, with a distinctive art style and UI design that oozes personality. Even simple menu transitions are animated with flair, creating a cohesive aesthetic that extends from battle screens to dialogue boxes. The jazzy soundtrack perfectly complements the Phantom Thief theme, with earworm tracks that will stay with you long after playing. Persona 5. Royal's strength lies in its perfect pacing between dungeon exploration and daily life activities. During school days, you'll build relationships with a memorable cast of characters, improve your personal stats, and participate in various activities around Tokyo. These social elements aren't just window dressing. They directly impact your abilities in battle through the Confidant system. With over 100 hours of content, new story elements not found in the original Persona 5, and all DLC included, the Switch version offers incredible value and one of the most stylish RPG experiences available. Blasting into number 3 is Metroid Prime Remastered, Nintendo's phenomenal update to the GameCube classic. As bounty hunter Samus Aran, you'll explore the mysterious planet Talon 4 after a space pirate distress signal leads you to their research facility. What made the original revolutionary was its successful translation of Metroid's exploration and progression into first person, and the remaster perfects this with modernized control options. You can choose between the original controls, a dual-stick setup similar to modern FPS games, or a hybrid scheme with motion aiming that feels incredibly precise. The visual overhaul is stunning, with completely rebuilt assets, enhanced lighting, and higher resolution textures that make this feel like a modern release rather than a remaster. Yet, it perfectly preserves the atmospheric isolation that defines Metroid, from the raindrops on Samus's visor in the Talon overworld to the haunting alien architecture of the Chozo ruins. With its perfect balance of combat, platforming, and environmental puzzles, Metroid Prime Remastered stands as one of the Switch's finest first-party offerings. Dancing into the number 2 spot is Bayonetta 3, Platinum Games' over-the-top action spectacle that pushes the boundaries of combat and creativity. When mysterious entities start destroying realities across the multiverse, the Umbra Witch Bayonetta must team up with alternate versions of herself to save existence itself. Bayonetta 3 expands the series' combat with a demon slave mechanic, allowing you to directly control
an angel or a demon. But
these
quite human
creatures add a new strategic layer as you balance Bayonetta's lightning-fast combos with positioning and timing your abilities. The addition of playable characters, Viola, and alternate Bayonettas with unique playstyles adds tremendous variety to the game.
What? Me? By myself?
Lesson 2. Learn to fight for others, not just for yourself. I'm sure he'll...
And finally, taking our number 1 spot is the surprise indie hit of 2025, Balatro, a roguelike deck builder that has taken the gaming world by storm. What appears at first glance to be a simple poker game quickly reveals itself as an addictively deep strategy experience that has dominated the Switch eShop charts for months. In Balatro, you play hands of poker, but traditional poker hands are just the beginning. As you progress, you'll collect joker cards that apply wild modifiers to your deck, creating absurd combinations and strategies. Some jokers might multiply your score for specific card suits, while others trigger special effects when you play certain hands. The genius of Balatro is how it takes familiar poker concepts and transforms them into something entirely new. And there you have it. 30 incredible games you must play on the Nintendo Switch in 2025. Did we miss any of your favorites? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Level Up Switch, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. I'm Matt, and I'll see you in the next one. Game on!